Back in 1947, Pablo Picasso visited the famous Lascaux cave paintings, prehistoric artworks in the Dordogne region of France, made by people who lived thousands of years ago. Upon looking at these animal paintings, Picasso reportedly said, "We have invented nothing." Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, the #1 place for people who love design, art and all things creative. You are watching DMB's channel, my name is Laszlo, and today I thought I would try to gather my thoughts on the recent creative developments in artificial intelligence, the state of machine learning, focusing on computers' sudden ability to make art out of seemingly nothing. Well, not nothing, but we'll get to that. Because it seems a whole new era is upon us, digital artists. In case you haven't heard, we have arrived at a time period where essentially robots and computers are capable of painting, digital drawing, designing and effectively applying creative thinking. Now, what on earth does this all mean? And more importantly, should we, the human designers of the world, should we be worried for our jobs? Well, to put it simply, yes. I think we should be worried. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching this, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out. I'm joking. Let's just hit the brake and let's get back to the beginning, shall we? Chapter number 1. What is AI art? Well, in case you haven't heard this term before, AI art is exactly what you would think it is. What you see here are visual artworks created by artificial intelligence. Digital paintings, photographic, synthetic images, all kinds of visual compositions which haven't been drawn by a digital artist using Photoshop or Clip Studio Paint or Procreate. They have been generated by people putting text-based descriptions into certain computer programs which have made up these images based on those written descriptions. Got it? Although the idea is not new at all, this technology has been with us since 2015. Recently, a lot of these AI art generators became available to use by the public. Web apps like Midjourney or Dall-E too, they let you create an account on their websites, upon which you get the chance to generate some images yourself, just by simply giving these programs some written commands. Literally, all you need to do is type into the program your obscurest, most craziest ideas, like let's say Spider-Man, drawn on an ancient Greek vase, and these AI art generators will try to match your descriptions with some made-up imagery. Now, the program of your choice will feed itself images from the internet to make this happen. So in this case, it would look a bunch of pictures of ancient Greek amphoras and a bunch of pictures of Spider-Man. Then this artificial intelligence would try to combine these two ideas together in ways that make sense from an aesthetic point of view. Yeah? Now, what I just used here are two main tropes, but some of these programs can handle as many as you wish. As long as you can describe in plain English what you want in written words, the sky is the limit. You can generate visuals for anything, really. Does that make sense? Now, if you're a regular viewer of our channel, you might be wondering, can these things generate graphic design imagery? Or maybe interior design imagery as well? Well, yes, you know what? They actually can. Most of my results came out a little bit clumsy, but you know, give it a couple more years of development and then who knows? Now, if you stop for a moment just to think, you will quickly realize that there are a lot of conflicts here, even within me. The sheer existence of this technology has created a lot of debates and a lot of arguments online already. On one side, you get the enthusiastic futurists out there who are likening this to an evolutionary step, and they believe that this will change the way we approach art and design. And there are a lot of other people who are terrified of this technology and what it can do, not just against the creative industries, but humanity and our perceptions of reality in general. And I gotta say, as impressive as this thing is, I think there is a lot to dislike about this type of creation. A lot of digital artists came out against some of these AI companies already, saying what they are doing essentially diminishes and undermines the idea of hiring creative professionals and, you know, paying for digital image creation. Since these tools are widely available now, it could do a lot of harm to creatives' livelihoods, an industry which has been underpaid and undervalued for quite a long time in my opinion now anyways. So this thing, well, it's oil to the fire. A lot of people also pointed out the complications these systems can bring within themselves in terms of copyrights. Some of these AI art generators are getting really good at copying certain artists' styles. And we're not just talking about the old masters here who are not with us anymore, but contemporary, living, breathing digital artists. People who quite rightfully so are taking offense that their artistic vision, something that they have spent years and years developing, is now essentially up for grabs by anyone who's got a smartphone. Current copyright laws state that you can't own any of these imagery that you are generating because, well, you haven't made them, a computer algorithm did. But this didn't stop some major brands out there to utilize this tool instead of hiring an editorial illustrator already, so there is that. Oh, and also, while I keep saying that these tools are technically free to use, as you would expect, most of them are only free for like a little trial period, after which they will actively start encouraging you to buy into these systems for, you know, that premium experience. Digital creators of the world don't have the option to opt out from these systems. If you have your work online, anywhere, these AI generators will think that your style, your imagery, your creative vision is fair game. Which is not only immoral, but it can be potentially dangerous as well, if you really think about it. So yeah, pretty bleak. But let's take a step back and try to understand the other side. Why do some people think that Dall-E 2, Midjourney and all of these apps are revolutionary? Some users think that we have arrived at a new era of creating images. They believe that the ease of creating this synthetic imagery is quite frankly revolutionary, in the very same way Photoshop revolutionized digital image making back in the early 2000s. They believe that we are on our way to democratize art and design as we know it. They think in the future you won't need technical skills in order to make something, you just need the idea. Time, effort and skill will get taken out of the equation. We are talking about generating images for now. But in a not too distant future, this could apply to motion graphics, or making music, even video. I mean, there are people out there who are genuinely talking about putting whole screenplays for a movie into this text-based software on one end, so a super developed computer would cough up a fully produced, full-feature movie on the other end. Yeah. Well, listen, here are my 2 cents on all that. First of all, and I really hope no one will take offense here, but I think most people overestimate how good their ideas are. I mean, I played around and experimented with some of these artificial intelligence tools for a couple of weeks now. And while they are a lot of fun to use, I don't know about you, but I personally couldn't care less what other people are generating with this thing. It is very individualist in a sense that it helps you create your idea on the spot. I mean, yes, maybe in the future you could just type into an algorithm that you wanna hear a song by Beyoncé in the style of Guns N' Roses, also featuring a rap segment by Post Malone, and you also wanna generate a medieval style music video for all of this where cats are dancing around for the whole thing. But apart from you, I don't think anyone else will care for these uniquely generated creations of yours. Mainstream media consumption would turn into a deeply personal experience that we can't just share with others, like we do currently now with music and movies, which I think is against the nature of these ambitious creative projects. In fact, it's quite pointless, it's dystopian and super depressing if you ask me. Besides, we already kinda seen that in a movie, how that would look in real life, haven't we? It sounds like exactly the way social media platforms are working currently, with all their unique recommendation-based system, which is very alarming. It kind of feels like we're halfway there already. And honestly, is anyone happy with the way social media sites and algorithms are working currently? Because I'm not. By the way, I don't think I'm above all of these bad ideas theory. Not at all. Well, I do consider myself a pretty creative guy. You know, I make logos, I make illustrations, I make these videos here and there. I am man enough to admit that while I have a lot of ideas, not all of them are solid gold. As things stand now, creative ideas take a lot of time and effort to realize, which means that I need to think twice before I put my mind onto something, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. This is how the current creative model stands, as we know it. On one side you have a creative idea, right? And on this other side you have the final finished execution. And in the middle there is this huge journey between these two sides. These are effectively the hoops that you need to jump through in order to get from an idea to a finished product, yeah? This could represent the time, the effort, the price, the skills, the collaboration, everything that's needed in order to get from A to B, yeah? And while sometimes things feel like, you know, it's a bit too hard to get to a final product, if you take away all the hardship and all the effort, then our content library will just start getting filled up with too much stuff. Too many ideas, mediocre rubbish, which might look impressive at first glance. But after a better look, you will find that there is little to no substance there. You know what I'm saying? This current creation model is a way of filtering what projects I am really happy to do and commit to, and what ideas are just not worth the effort on the long run, yeah? Now, besides all of these complex problems, one of my biggest issues with this whole AI art experiment is that you're not creating anything new. All you're doing here is rejigging some old stuff that came before, which is again not very interesting. And if you want to pursue art and design in a meaningful, impactful way, I think you will quickly find that this thing is just not gonna be enough for you. It's not gonna be enough to feel happy about what you're creating. I mean, if you think it is good enough for you, and you think you're going to make some easy money with little to no effort here by exploiting these creative systems, well, listen, I suggest you to look elsewhere. I'm pretty sure there are better ways to make money out there than pretending to be an artist. I mean, come on. Now, what I'm hoping to happen, and I do see this talked about online, thankfully, is AI will help us, creatives, in our workflow to assist with our projects. There are a lot of menial, chore-like jobs in all creative disciplines, which maybe should be done artificially after all. Things like sourcing good design mockups, stock photography, placeholders, stock video even, which in my eyes would mean that maybe, just maybe, humans and machines, we can stay friends after all, yeah? Now, as a closing thought, I just want to say that just like Picasso, I too had the privilege to go down to the south of France quite recently, and we did actually see the cave paintings of Lascaux. And while it's quite hard to describe all those feelings that can come over you, facing all these prehistoric paintings, what I felt, my key takeaway was that strong sense of community. It made me realize that I got something in common with people who lived thousands, tens of thousands of years ago. Isn't that wild? Because just like them, I do too have this urge to draw, to design and to create. It humanized them for me because I believe that's what makes us human. A computer translating words it barely understands and trying to mesh them together in visual ways. That's not real art, is it? It's just guesswork, shooting in the dark. It's always going to be. It's a bit like me pretending that I speak French to the cashier lady at the Lascaux Museum just so I can get in. I know some words, but I don't understand the whole system, and I probably never will. So if you're a young artist or designer out there who are feeling discouraged by all of these new developments, just remember that you, your skills and your artwork will always be special. When you create in your own time, applying your own skills, that carries so much more meaning than any of these artificial intelligence-based creations. Even if the technical package, meaning your skills, are not on par with what some computer programs can do, that doesn't matter, because real art is inspired by emotion and our experiences of being human. And that is something that machines and software and computers will never understand. Okay? So please, don't worry. They have invented nothing. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this little discourse. Please give us a follow if you did. We talk about graphics, illustration, interior design, architecture, and anything else overlapping all these cool things on this channel. Feel free to leave a like as well to help us reach even more people with this video, and I hope to see you next time with some other cool creative stuff, okay? Until then, see ya!